They had fame, fortune, and fans screaming their names. But behind the scenes, these Hollywood stars were hiding sickening secrets. Now they're not walking red carpets. They're pacing prison cells. From shocking betrayals to crimes that shattered lives, these are the most evil actors in Hollywood currently in jail. You won't believe who made the list. Ready to find out? Shannon Guess Richardson, born Shannon Rogers on August 31, 1977, in Bowie County, Texas, was a budding actress with minor roles in popular TV series such as The Walking Dead, The Vampire Diaries, and Franklin and Bash. However, her trajectory took a dark and unexpected turn in 2013 when she became embroiled in a federal criminal case that shocked both Hollywood and the nation. In May 2013, amidst marital turmoil and an impending divorce, Richardson attempted to frame her estranged husband by sending ricin-laced letters to President Barack Obama, New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and Mark Glaze, the director of Mayors Against Illegal Guns. She then falsely reported to authorities that her husband was responsible for the mailings. However, investigators uncovered evidence, including online purchases of materials used to produce ricin and data from her personal computer, which pointed directly to Richardson as the perpetrator. She was arrested on June 7, 2013, and subsequently confessed to mailing the toxic letters, though she claimed her husband coerced her into doing so. This claim was disproven during the investigation. On December 10, 2013, Richardson pleaded guilty to possessing and producing a biological toxin. She was sentenced on July 16, 2014, to 18 years in federal prison and ordered to pay $367,222 in restitution. Her case serves as a stark reminder of how personal vendettas and criminal actions can lead to a precipitous fall from grace, transforming a rising star into a convicted felon. Music. Jeffrey Jones may not be a household name for everyone, but his standout roles in classic films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Beetlejuice have certainly earned him a place in Hollywood history. Known for his ability to balance humor, depth, and even menace, Jones became a celebrated supporting actor, building a successful career with his unique energy. However, behind the scenes, a major scandal would eventually overshadow his legacy and tarnish his public image in ways no one could have predicted. Born in Buffalo, New York, in 1946, Jones developed a passion for acting at an early age. After studying drama at the prestigious London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, he refined his craft on stage before making the transition to film and television in the late 1970s. His expressive face and commanding voice quickly carved out a niche for him in eccentric, often authoritative roles. Jones's big breakthrough came in 1986 when he portrayed the bumbling school principal Edward R. Rooney in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. His portrayal turned the character into one of the most iconic villains of the 1980s, securing his place as a beloved comedic talent. His success continued with his role as Charles Dietz in Beetlejuice, 1988, a stressed-out father who finds himself dealing with a haunted house. Jones seamlessly shifted from playing a villainous figure to a quirky and endearing father figure, further showcasing his versatility. His collaboration with director Tim Burton didn't stop there. Jones also appeared in Ed Wood and Sleepy Hollow, continuing to prove his range as an actor. In addition, his performance in Amadeus as Emperor Joseph II was widely praised for its mix of authority and humor, earning him critical acclaim. By the 1990s, Jones had become a familiar face in Hollywood, loved for his distinct energy and his ability to elevate every role he took on. However, in 2002, his career took a dramatic turn when allegations of inappropriate conduct surfaced. These claims resulted in a legal investigation that uncovered disturbing evidence, marking a sharp and tragic shift in his career. The scandal had a swift and severe impact on Jones. In 2003, he pleaded guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 5 years of probation, mandatory counseling, and lifetime registration as a sex offender. The fallout from the scandal was immediate. Hollywood distanced itself from him, and his once promising career came to a halt. The public found it difficult to separate Jones from the gravity of his actions, and as a result, he was relegated to small roles with few opportunities for major projects. His previous successes, which had once made him a beloved actor, were now overshadowed by the serious consequences of his personal actions. Music. Joseph Sun may not be a household name, but fans of the 1997 comedy Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery might remember him as Random Task, a comedic nod to the classic James Bond villain Oddjob. Born in South Korea in 1970, Sun moved to California at a young age, developing a deep passion for martial arts. His dedication led him to create his own fighting style, which he dubbed Jo Sun Do, blending techniques from various disciplines. More than a decade after his brief Hollywood moment, Sun's name resurfaced, but for a shocking reason. In 2008, a minor legal issue led authorities to take his DNA, which linked him to a serious decades-old criminal case. What followed was a series of revelations that painted a grim and disturbing picture. Then in 2011, Sun was involved in a fatal altercation while serving time, further escalating his legal troubles. By 2017, he was convicted of second-degree murder, cementing his reputation in the most notorious way possible. Once remembered for his comedic performance in Austin Powers, Sun's legacy is now irreversibly tarnished. His story serves as a stark contrast between the light-hearted character he portrayed on screen and the dark reality of his personal life. Music. Danny Masterson rose to fame in the early 2000s as Stephen Hyde, the sharp-witted and rebellious fan favorite on that 70s show. With his dry humor and effortless cool, he became an iconic figure on television, helping the show cement its status as a cultural phenomenon. However, despite his Hollywood success, serious allegations would later surface, forever altering his public image and career. Born in 1976 in Long Island, New York, Masterson began his career at a young age, first appearing in commercials before transitioning to television and film. His big break came in 1998 when he landed the role of Hyde, a character that made him a household name. Running for 8 successful seasons, that 70s show became a launching pad for its young cast, catapulting Masterson and his co-stars to stardom. In addition to acting, he pursued a side career as a DJ under the name DJ Mom Jeans, earning attention for his laid-back persona and humor. Despite his career highs, troubling accusations emerged in the early 2000s, with multiple women coming forward. As legal proceedings unfolded, questions arose regarding the influence of the Church of Scientology, to which Masterson had ties, and whether it played a role in handling the situation behind closed doors. Public scrutiny intensified in 2017 during the rise of the #MeToo movement, and as pressure mounted, Netflix removed him from The Ranch, a show in which he had a starring role. In 2023, after a highly publicized trial, Masterson was convicted on 2 counts and later sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. The case became a defining moment in Hollywood's ongoing conversations about accountability and justice. While his work on screen remains part of his legacy, the events surrounding his trial serve as a stark reminder of the complexities of power, influence, and the fight for accountability in the entertainment industry.